Okay, welcome to this session. Um, in this session, we are going to introduce ourselves to the idea of programming. I know you already you are familiar with computing and you are familiar with programming, right? So we are going to take it like we are just starting, right? We are going to move faster, but we are just still going to start from scratch somehow, some way. So the whole agenda of today, you will see it as we flow through the whole session. Um, Primarily, who am I that is introducing this? I'm a software engineer and technical trainer, and I do this at a couple of companies, right? At Motiva, LinkedIn Learning, the Bob Fellowship, at a couple of companies, yeah, right? And that is what I do, and that is what qualifies me to do this class. Yeah. So, the era of computing and digital age, right? And what does this signify for us as people who are coming into this industry, right? So in this industry, one thing is we are plenty in the sense that we have so many human beings, so many devices, so many cultures, so many information, so many things, right? And to make sense of all these things in this world can now become confusing, right? And you need like focus, you need guidance to be able to direct your energy to one place and utilize and maximize your energy in that one singular place. So, to start off with, let me show you some demo of some simple projects that we're going to be building in this class, right? And like in the first few weeks, yeah, before we now delve into it. So I am going to move here and show you some simple projects. So this is a simple calculator, a random background generator, country flag, state, and then calculator. So these are 5 projects here. You have seen this before? Which one?
All of them.
All of them.
You wrote such a link one time, right?
Oh, okay, okay. So you have seen all of them before. So do you understand how they work or the concept behind them? Okay. So if you don't understand them, I am going to demo them shortly, and the goal is in the next few weeks as we talk together, you will come to realize that we can build them and we are now, so once we trash this out, we are going to go into much more complex projects, right? So all these projects are pure JavaScript projects. There is nothing attached to it. It's just HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? Okay. So this one is just so here we are not doing anything special here. You have 3 buttons. You click on the button, it goes up, right? And you click on the previous button and then it goes down, and then you can reset it to 0. Seems simple, seems straightforward, it's just counter, right? And you can do a button, right?
Yes.
We add an event listener to that button, right, with JavaScript. So when we add the event listener to the button, so once the button listens for that event and it sees that I'm clicking it, it will perform an action and it will increase the value that I want it to increase. So I have this central value as a global variable somewhere, right? All of them are trying to affect and effect that global variable, right? So that is how this one is operating. So then this one is similar. It's just one button. All of them are actually similar. So one button that performs one action. When I click it, the background of the website will change, right? Here now, so many things are happening. One, we are trying to learn how computers and browsers understand colors, right? So color in the sense that the idea of color, so we have primary colors, red, blue, and what?
I think red, but I don't know. Red, blue, yellow.
RBG, red, blue, and green,
Yeah.
right? RBG. So we have RBG colors, right? No.
Primary color.
Colors.
Red, blue,
So RGB, red, green, and blue. Now, these three colors is one way that that computers understand colors, right? There is hexadecimal colors. Hexadecimal colors is another way that computers understand colors, right? This one here uses hexadecimal, and hexadecimal is 0 to 15, right? That's binary number, 0 to 9,
for ABCD.
ABCD. So that is what you are saying here, right? So every time I press this, it will generate a new random color, totally random, and it will not exceed F because it's A, B, C, D, F, right? It will get to F, right? So you can see here we have F, we have A, we have D. So it is combining those random numbers to generate each of these colors. So
What it's doing is that the numbers, the hexadecimal numbers, just randomly put them together.
Yeah.
It will become a color.
yeah, so that
Each colors have a color code, a random color code.
no. So this is designed to be random, right? It's designed to be random, but the randomness comes from the fact that I'm just selecting the numbers randomly. But once I select it randomly, I piece it together to now form color. Color itself is 6 numbers, 6 hexadecimal numbers, any 6, right?
So any six hexadecimal.
But it is in a range. Yes, it is in a range of 000 to FFF. The same way, if you look at this RBG, you will see. Can you see here? So this F, this 255 here is the F, right? So this will be like this. No, this is not the highest. This is the highest now. White is the highest. White is 255, 255, 255. So the lowest will be 000, right? So which is black. So it's the range of 0, black to white, right? 255, 255, 255. So this is one way to look at it. We can look at it from 000 FFF2. So instead of generating it, I could have generated it like this, no, 2, and you still get that color. So instead of generating it like this, I am generating it as hexadecimals, right? Then combining it together and then passing it as a style to this background of this web page.
Where I'm having a little issue understanding is the randomness.
Where is it coming about?
Like you pick random numbers come together,
Uh-huh.
and then they equate to a color.
Yes.
So that means each color has a random color code.
No.
Each color has a color code.
Yes, each color has a color code.
So the randomizer, what I put it,
Yeah.
will always fall into the group of the color.
Yeah,
codes.
into any
random color it comes
yeah.
up with.
Anything I come up with is falling into that set. Obviously. Yeah, I made it to fall into that set. And the way I've made it to fall into that set is because of my input that I'm using to generate this randomness. It's not just generating from just any numbers, right? I have a set of input that will make sure that the output does not escape what I need it to escape, right? So this one will do random colors in however you want to look at it, right? And then we have this find a country flag. Here, this one we have.
So I know how this one works.
Okay.
I sort of know how this one works.
Okay, so
combining that your random color generator.
Okay.
It's something I learned in free code camp. Where
Okay.
you use the image source.
Okay.
You use the image source, like that's a link. Use that. But I don't know how you did random of all the links of all the countries and all those stuff.
Oh, okay. I have the data of all the countries.
Okay.
I have the data of all the countries. So I'm selecting the data of all the countries randomly. And then once I pick one country randomly.
Okay, so you created a data for
I have the data.
the links of all the countries'
Yes,
flags.
yeah. It's not just flag. I have many things inside. I'm only utilizing flag and name.
Okay. So the flag and the name.
I'm only utilizing flag and name, but I have many things.
So what you did was you made flag and name like a storage.
Yeah.
Then you made this flag generator.
Yeah,
like a
based
random-
on that. Yeah, so I'll pick it randomly from the data,
Okay.
right? Then I'll now pass it and manipulate the DOM here with it.
The DOM is what I know.
You don't know that one yet. We have not talked about DOM. Don't worry. When we get to DOM, everything here we are doing is DOM manipulation. Is the one that is making it to be able to reload, to be able to affect the web page that you are seeing here. Everything we are doing is DOM manipulation on all the web pages. So we have not dealt with DOM manipulation. So here, this one is state and capital. And the reason why I'm showing this is several things are happening here. One, I am picking this one is static. This one that you are seeing here and this one and you are seeing here is not dynamic. It is still done manipulation too. Whatever is here is based on what I am selecting here, right? If I don't select anything here, this one wouldn't show, right? So they are based on each other. They are feeding each other.
It's like that stuff that was in that time. The one based on the other, like the better Venn diagram, small Venn diagram.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one mutually exclusive or something.
Yeah. So yeah, this one there is a union where this old guy is dependent on this old guy. So here, to be able to do this again, I have the data somewhere, right? And I'm picking. So once I pick the states that I want, I will use the state to go and fetch the state to data, and then use the data to now populate the web page, the dump.
Okay, let me get this now.
You cannot get it now because I've not explained the code. It's when you see the code that you understand it. It's just here from the front here that you are seeing it here, right? So it's until you see the code and I'm explaining the code that you understand what is really happening in front here, right? But just bask in the idea that I click on something and it is happening, right? I click on something and it is happening. Just bask in that idea for now. And then we have this calculator here. So this calculator here is pretty much performing the job of a simple calculator. We can make it much more complex, right?
Yeah.
So this one now we are doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, 4 operations. We can add square root, we can add any formula, we can add the formula, almighty formula, anything that you want to add, we can make it a full-blown scientific calculator.
Okay.
Right?
So that's something like that, but that one they use Python because Python is more with numbers.
No, it's not about more with numbers. Python just leans itself to data science stuff. But this one it doesn't. So all languages can do anything, right? So what I want you to understand is all programming languages are equivalent in the sense that they can, if it's a programming language, right, that has passed the language test, right, it will do the perform.
Whatever.
It can do, so whatever Java can do, Python can do it. Whatever Python can do it, Swift can do it, C++ can do it. How they will do it is what is different.
That's what I was explaining. I get now. The major difference is how they are written.
How they are written,
Yeah.
and their suitability,
Stability.
right? In the sense that they have, each of them have strong points.
Strong points.
Strong points in the sense that JavaScript now is built to focus on the web, right?
Okay.
So when it was designed, it is designed with the web in mind,
Okay.
right? So if you want to do something for the web and manipulate the web, you should just be taking JavaScript because it was designed primarily for the web.
So that means JavaScript cannot create apps that run offline.
It can work now. It is later that they now improve on JavaScript to be able to do apps offline, apps, mobile apps, web apps, all those stuff, right? But its primary platform is web.
The HTML is what? HTML is what?
HTML is a tag, right? It's a programming language. So we use it to draw the skeleton of a web structure, of a web page.
Okay.
So how you want to understand it is this. If you look at the human body, the human anatomy, we have the skeleton, we have the flesh, right?
Organs.
We have the organs, right? All those ones, let's just say, yeah, and then we have the functionality,
Yes.
right? Now, we can have the skeleton, the skull, the everything, right? With no flesh, just normal skeleton, right? That form the frame of the body, right? Just the frame, how the structure of that body will be. Are you going to be tall? Are you going to be short? That's the frame, Abby.
Yes.
That is the HTML. That is what the HTML will do.
Okay.
Alone of it is lifeless.
Okay.
But it is a shape, right?
Okay.
But it is lifeless. It cannot do anything on its own. But if you want a skeleton that looks like human being, it looks like a human being, right? Now, we now have CSS. This person has hair, plenty hair, or you don't have hair. Are you fat or short? Are you fat or thin? Are you robust? Are you light or dark? Right?
Okay.
Now you are adding what? You are adding flesh, right? And visuals to what's it called? To the HTML, to the frame. That is the flesh, right? Now that we have the flesh, so now this, you can have a flesh, beautiful, and it is frame, right? That is a whole human being too, right? At that point, it can do anything. It is fully qualified to be a human being, right? That way too, our HTML CSS fully qualifies to be a website that you can use, right?
So you
Now,
can use HTML to be the website.
Yeah.
But the best way to do it is to use 3 of them to make a
to
full body,
yeah,
complex, comprehensive website.
comprehensive. So depending on what do you now want, right?
Now I get it from-
Depending on what do you now want, that will now determine how will happen, right? Now the JavaScript part of it is the functionality. When you want to move your hand, it is JavaScript that is doing the movement.
Okay, so
But without JavaScript, movement cannot happen. It will just be that you have flesh or you have muscle on a frame. That's all.
perfect example, perfect illustration.
Right? So to move, I want to jump. I click on something and it is listening on that way. When I click on something and something is happening, that is JavaScript. But you can just have a button, HTML. You can do normal button with HTML. You can style the button, give it Kirello, Abbey red, right? Like I'm doing here, we have green. But when I now click it and something is happening, that is JavaScript.
So, let's use this now.
Yeah. So if you look at here now,
HTML created the
so
button.
this is HTML. All these are HTML that we have here. All these buttons now, they are simple HTML buttons.
So
That these ones are black, this one is green, this one is blue, and then this one is light gray, right? All these ones are CSS work.
Okay.
When I now click it, now this thing now, when I click it, something is happening. It is clearing this thing. That is JavaScript.
So
The button can stand alone, but does it do something?
it's best to work hand in hand.
So if you want it to do something, then you now need JavaScript for it. But if you just want it for the aesthetics of it, like it should just stay there and be beautiful, it will stay there, and it is the beauty is important, right? You cannot exclude the beauty out of it. The beauty is important. If you click it and everything works, good.
So the best way to work on the website is to know the 3 of them.
So when you know the 3 of them, you would know, you will be much more confident, right? But it doesn't mean that all websites need JavaScript, right? And it doesn't mean so. But all websites, anyhow, you must have frame and you must have CSS, right? But there is no way today that you build website that doesn't have one form of JavaScript or the other, from one thing that you are using it for or the other. Even if you are not using it at all here. Here now, this is just a very simple static page. Nothing is happening.
So
right?
I saw something.
Yeah.
First of all, like when I was jobless, I say I'm dreaming about programming.
Yeah.
So I just saw, Chrome browser.
Yeah.
The homepage.
Yeah.
So I just said, okay. And I inspected it.
Yeah.
And so it was a whole complex, that simple web page, very simple, not so hard, not you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like this.
Something like that.
Inspecting it, a whole.
A lot of stuff are there.
Exactly. I was like, what the hell will program this? And how?
No, so usually when all these things that you are seeing here, right, are not written like this. They may not be written like this. This is usually generated, right? So a typical example is this. The code that will give us this, that will give us what we are looking at here, right, is primarily they want it to be simple, easy to load. That is why you are seeing it like this, so that people can easily achieve what they want to achieve, right? It is not disturbing, it is not getting in the way of what people want to do, right? That is this one, right? So if you look at website like this one, like Get Carbon, I'm coming, Get Carbon. If you look at a website like Get Carbon now, or Abeg app, yeah, no, not this, Abeg app and Get Carbon. No, I'm just using it as demo. So if you look at this website now, right, this, if you look at what we have here, we have images, right, and then we have text, and then we have these two are images, right? And then this is navigation at the top here. This is a button, right? It looks like our button here, right? It's a button that performs some actions, right? If you inspect this, I expect that all this now, it is not written from scratch, right? Like that. If you look at here, can you see? This website was created with what? Webflow. So they didn't really write this website. They used Webflow.
Okay, wait.
Webflow. Webflow is a website generating platform, a website generating tool.
Okay, so if you don't know how to program, you can just use Webflow.
Yes. So no. So this is what they use to generate. So they didn't write the code. They were just, I want color here. I want.
Okay, so they just designing it.
Yes, they
Webflow
just.
that was doing the work.
So Webflow now generated the HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the page.
Okay, so that means Webflow is a program that can program.
That can generate code.
Okay, well you're not exactly programming.
Yeah, no. So they call it no code tools. No code tools.
Okay.
So no code tools are tools that they allow you to do stuff without writing code, right? So example is no code. What's it called? Webflow, like this, and this is what it looks like.
Tutorial.
Yeah, I have a tutorial I was playing with. So this is what it looks like. You can generate a web page from this. I'm not allowed to, before you dig in, note that while the suite of Webflow, we don't actively support use of designers. So, okay, exit. This is a website now. This is, why is it exiting? Wait now. Continue the tutorial. Yeah, continue. So this is something I came up with, and you can see here, this is a simple website, like looks like the Carbon one, right? They have a image and then a text beside it. This is what text and then image beside it, right? And I can generate this and put it on the website, right? So all I did here was just import picture, use it, right?
Okay.
Import picture and use it. In importing picture and using it, there is nothing. So you can see on the left hand side, I can just change the size of this thing, and it will change. If I want to change the color, I can come here and change the color, and it will change, right? You can change the font size of anything. So the reason why they are doing this, so this one is created, this one was built, right? This one was written, this one was not generated, right?
Okay.
So here, this one was written with let me see. Can we see from here what it was written with? Static. So they have Google Analytics. Okay. So this is a React project. This place is using React. This one was written with a JavaScript framework called React.js.
So it's built by Facebook. Or
Yeah.
Facebook.
It's owned by Facebook. They are the one that gave it to the world.
So like what I understand by the React is like using Facebook itself.
Yeah.
Like you can be scrolling on doing something, be watching video at the same time doing another thing. The page. So
We just use it to build websites,
okay.
right? Simple for now.
That's basically
For now, we use it to build websites. So you can build websites with so many things.
Yeah.
You can use Webflow, as you can see here. The reason why they are using,
you can write the program yourself.
and you can write the program yourself. Nothing is better. It's not a matter of better. Usually, what is important is the business, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this. Another option that is popular for building websites is WordPress. WordPress, right? A lot of banks use this. They don't use, so there is what they are using. What I want you to understand is that it's not like as if they are trying to run away from writing code. They still write code, but the frontal part, the home page, their home page like this. This is the home page of this company, Abi. The home page is not built. Many companies don't build it because the home page is for marketing, right? And almost every week they are promoting something. This week, if it's MTN now,
Think of
this week now is MTN. next week they are promoting something or they are doing one partnership. So it means that every week that they are promoting something, they will have to be changing the website, right? So the home page is for marketing, right? So because it is for marketing, they need a fast way to be able to change that website, right? And it is not because the people that may be changing this are not usually the developers. Because if it was for marketing, it means that it is the marketing people that will be usually in charge of this homepage and direct the content of it, right? So it means that next week now, maybe they are promoting promo, giving they are promoting celebrating 1 year anniversary. Then after 1 year anniversary, the following week is Valentine. They want to do Valentine again. After Valentine, they want to do Children's Day, right? That means they are changing the website almost every week, right? These are marketing ploys, right? So you cannot expect that they should write the code every week for that kind of thing. So what they do is they want it to be easy to change. That is usually why they are using this kind of tools. Webflow, where you can just, so if Valentine has finished, they will just remove the color or the image and put another one. Simple. Then click on publish, it will publish immediately, right? But it is not like as if they don't have so their tool in the company. When I log in now, when I say sign in, look at here. When I say sign in, it is going to take me away from this home page. Look at now. Can you see on the login here? Can you see here? This place, what do you see? Portal. This one now must be code.
And this one is a code. It's not for web.
This one is not Webflow, right? This one must be code. It's just the front, that home page, that landing page, right? That is just
From Webflow.
that is from Webflow because it is for marketing. Same thing for banks. You will see some banks like Sterling Bank. So if you go to Sterling Bank website, the home page, this home page that you are going to see, right, is WordPress, right? Sterling Bank, GT Bank, Zenith Bank, right? And many of those similar banks are what are using WordPress, right, for the landing page. But when you sign in and you want to see your money, that one is not WordPress. And you want to transfer money, that one is not. That one is the application of the bank itself. But this one that you are looking at here is just for marketing. That when you now go here or here or here, there's something will not happen. This one is what's it called? So if you look at here, can you see SAP? We have gone away from that place now. Can you see now we have gone away from that? This is another website entirely.
They use a header tag to open a new web page.
Yes, now once you click on it's a link and it is taking you to another website entirely.
That's why continue, share.
Yeah. So here now we can go back to that place again. This is Sterling NG again. And once it loads again, in the middle here, you will go to business. When you go to business here, so you can see that this one is they are trying to use it to redirect you to another place. Why should they now spend a whole time building it up using React or something when you can just put the image? And let me just say, because it's not just. Understand that it's not just,
yes.
Right? It's not easy to build this kind of website too, to design this kind of website too. It is not easy, right? It is just a little bit faster, right? You don't have to be writing and designing the code. You can just generate them, right? It is not like it requires expertise to be able to build this kind of things too, right? Using WordPress. So these ones are WordPress website. It requires expertise to be able to do this too. Don't belittle the job of WordPress or Webflow. They are experts that do use it, right? And it's almost the same kind of dedication you will put to building the website is almost the same kind of dedication you will put to learning how to use these no-code tools too. So I've shown you 3 no-code tools: Webflow, WordPress, Notion. Notion is another no-code tool, right? People use it to build websites, right? They use it to write. It's primarily for writing. It's primarily for project management. But people can use it to build websites and host their websites on here too, right? Here, this Notion is hosted on Notion. Notion, their website, they are using
Okay, so they're
Notion
using Notion.
to host their website.
So they use Notion to build Notion.
Yes, to build their own home page.
Okay.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So as you can see here, all these things that you are seeing here, they are no code tools, right? So there is need for the front end to stand alone, right? As you understand the point of why that front end is important because of that fast changes. But the application of banks that you are going to log into to be able to transfer money from one place to another, that one is not going to be changing every week.
Yeah, that one doesn't need to change.
It doesn't. Maybe in 1 year or 2 years they may not be changing anything. So those ones, maybe they just want to add new features every 6 months, every 1 year, because those ones. So you have to carefully craft those features out, build it, test it, make sure it is working, make sure it does not have bug, make sure somebody cannot hack it before you publish it. Unlike this one where you are changing almost every week. So that is why they separate what the front end will be versus what the back end will be. Now this abeg now, these ones, they have used React here, right? So that's what I'm saying, that it is the business that will determine the direction that you take, right? Like these people now, they have taken a lot of time to design this website, right? To make it like this, and they have not used no code tools. They have written it in React, right? So if they have written it in React and it's like this, okay, no wahala. It means that the application itself is on here, right? Like the application to use this is on here, right? Directly on this place like this.
So you don't need to go to another link.
Yeah, you don't need to go to another link. No, it may be that they are on different servers. Doesn't mean, maybe that the application is hosted on different server of this one here. So, but this one now, the application now, look at this application now. It is primarily for mobile platforms.
Okay.
So this website is just for what again? It's for marketing. You cannot log in here. Can you see anywhere where they put login here? If you go to the home page, can you see anywhere here where they put login? You will not see it. They will only say get it on App Store and Play Store. So this website is primarily for marketing. The application is not here. If you want to use this app, you must download it to your phone and use it on your phone, right? Because you have to use it on your phone, this is purely marketing, right? So it means that if they want to change it tomorrow, right, they may go and change it tomorrow, right? And they have spent a lot of time to craft this design, this experience that people are using here, right? And I don't know if you are familiar with Abeg. They are the one that are sponsoring BB Naija this year. If you watch BB Naija, me too, I don't watch it, but if you watch BB Naija, they are the one that is sponsoring it, right? And so this is it again that you see here, right? This is so the home page itself is for what? That website that you are seeing here is not for interacting with the site. It is just for information, just to know about Abeg app. If you want to utilize the Abeg, you have to download it. Do you get? So now let's get back to here. So after the demo, I've shown you the demo. I've shown you demo of this project, right? So let's now go to continue our conversation, right? So the whole goal of this is it's not just for what's it called? It's not just to demo those projects that we have here, right? The idea is that with all these things that we have seen, that I've demoed to you, you will realize that you are prepared for the new generation, right? You can build web applications, you can build mobile applications, you can build no-code tools, you can build marketing sites. The opportunity is far and wide, right? And you can prepare yourself not just for jobs, just for opportunities just to do anything that you want to do, right?
Freelance.
But it's not necessarily freelance. It can be freelance. It can be a full-time job, right? It doesn't have to be. I don't know what you lean to, right? Me, I have a full-time job that I do, right? It's just that I do it from home, right? But if I don't come to office, they will not ask me, but they must see me that I'm working, right? So you understand? So it's not freelance, right? But if you want to do freelance too, no wahala, right? But the idea is the whole goal is that programming allows us to build, right? And when you build, you are you have opportunities available to you to get jobs, to travel, to do a lot of stuff, right? So yeah, so once we have gotten away with all those stuff, I want to introduce you we want to focus now, calm down to talk about the programming world, right? And I'm going to use the analogy of computers of humans to talk about computers, right? So first things first is the human world, human beings and who we are and what we are. Human beings are primarily diverse set of people, right? So human beings, we have over 195 countries around the world, right? And we speak over 6,500 languages. Imagine 6,500 languages, right? And I myself, I can only speak two, right? And that means I am limited by the number of people I can communicate with. If I want to go to Brazil tomorrow, right, I would need to learn Portuguese. When I learn Portuguese, I am now available to speak to 1 million more people, right? Not 1 million, because Brazil is like about 300 million people. They are even more than Nigeria. So now, if I speak Portuguese, that means I have like 400 million people, because it's not only Brazil that they speak Portuguese, right? So I have like 400 million people that are now open and accessible to me, that can now listen to me and I can converse with, right? If I speak Chinese, Mandarin, there's no longer language like Chinese. So there is Mandarin and there is Cantonese, and then there are other sub-dialects in China, right? If I speak Mandarin, I have 1 billion people that are able to listen to me, that I can converse with, right? So languages give us access to cultures. Languages give us access to people. And when you can understand people with their language, you can be able to converse with them, you can be able to do something with them, right? Languages give us access, right? It give us access to people, gives us access to their language, to their food, to their culture, to their way of life, right? To their system, social system, capitalism system, anything, right? The way to enter a person, right, is just to learn the language. Same thing with computers. We have so many. The same way we have diverse human beings is the same way we have diverse computers, right? We have autonomous cars, right, that move without anybody driving them. We have Google Home, smart devices, Google Home that we can converse with, that will understand our English command, right, and respond. Okay, Google, play play Baby Shark, and then it will go and play Baby Shark. Hello Siri, play Baby Shark, right? And then it will go and play Baby Shark, right? And then we have all these drones and wristwatches, smart wristwatches, all our normal mobile devices like our laptop, our MacBooks, and our phones, right? It is still languages that give us access to these things. As we have human languages that give us access to human beings and their cultures, we have mobile languages, computing languages that give us access to platforms. If you want to control cars, that is a whole platform on its own. And there are languages you are going to learn, right, to be able to control cars.
Make cars autonomous.
Yes. They are, so we call them ROS systems, right? Now, ROS system, robust and scalable robot application, robot operating systems, right? If you build ROS, you'll be able to communicate and build you'll be able to communicate with robots,
Okay.
right? Design robots and make them perform autonomously.
I watched a video of someone being able to reprogramming a remote.
Yeah. So you can do
How
so
do you
if
do
you
that? How do you connect the remote? So how do you reprogram? Like I don't still understand how we did it.
no, so there are several ways to do it, and I can explain some ideas there, right? So if you want to see more of that, I think you should check out this guy on YouTube when you are chanced. His name is Mark Rober, right? So Mark Rober, when you watch him, you will get some ideas of how to program robots, how to program a couple of similar stuff like that. Yeah, he is programming a robot. Yeah, he's programming a robot to do dominoes. Do you know what a domino is? This is a robot now, and he has programmed it to be able to place dominoes.
Okay, yeah.
So look at now, he's placing a domino, right? Can you see it is moving on its own, right? This has been programmed. Can you see there are 3 engineers that worked on it?
Yeah.
The robot is competing against this human being. Now look at how this robot is going to. This is the fastest human being in the world that can do this domino, right? Look at here. That robot. Look at how the human is doing, right? And is placing it. Look at how many the robot is going to place about the same time. So the human, can you see this is human that is doing it now, right? Now wait, look at the robot. The robot will just place one and
There's a big batch of
yes. Now look at it again. This is a simple example of it. All you have to do is just place it, you put those cubes inside the robot and what? They will place it. Unlike the human being that has to be placing it one by one with their hand.
making mistakes. Sometimes
And everything can scatter, right? So you can see it is designed, right, carefully, perfectly for it to work, right? It is designed, it is programmed. So for you to be able to do this kind of thing, you have to learn that world,
wow.
right? So the world of this, right, is you can access it with Python, you can access it with, but which if you are using ROS, the platform there is what? Robot operating system, right? If you want to come into the world of mobile operating system, you know now we have left robot operating system to mobile operating system. Our phones, applications that run on our Android, on our iOS, on our KaiOS, on our any other mobile devices, smart devices, right? You have to learn something like Kotlin and Swift. Swift is the language that is built. Swift language is for iOS. So your iPhone, your MacBook, right? The applications that run on them, if you want to build those kind of applications, this is the language, only language. If you don't learn this Swift, you cannot access that place.
So what you're saying is that all the programs written on all the apps from the App Store.
Yeah.
Is from
Yes, they are compiled to run in Swift for you to be able to generate those applications.
Okay. So Swift is only.
Yes. So if you want to, you can use something like JavaScript or Kotlin, right? But they will eventually compile to Swift. Then Swift will now. Before Swift, we used to have Objective-C. Objective-C. Objective-C was the one that was solely for iOS before. They now changed, they improved on it, right? Built some new features into it and named it C, right? So we no longer use Objective-C now. We just use
Objective-C is just Swift.
Is old. Let's just say old Swift and new Swift, right?
Yeah, so it's still the same thing.
So you
Not one language.
so that is Swift. If you want to do Android programming, mobile applications, then you can use JavaScript, but it is not JavaScript. It is Kotlin that is the native. Kotlin, this one. If you want to access, so you can see that the language is the one that will give you access to the platform. If you want to do web programming, that one is we are in the terrain of JavaScript. So if you want to do web programming, then you are now in the terrain of what? JavaScript. It is the language that gives you access to what? To the domain. If you want to be someone that can build smart systems, computers that can make decisions of their own, like that robot, right? Then you are most likely going to want to be in the domain of data science and machine learning. Machine learning. This is a domain. Like mobile learning, mobile operating system is a domain. Like robot operating system is a domain. Machine learning is a domain. And the language that suits itself to this is Python. To make decisions. If you look at YouTube now, if you go to YouTube and you see, and I type Tesla self-driving car, autopilot, right? And it is driving itself, and you see a car that is driving itself. How is the car able to see? Because the car must see before it can drive itself. How is the car, when the car sees, how is the car? Look at how far that car drove. From here to here autonomously, right? Only by itself, right? So, their cities to test it before they put it on the main road, for it to be driving itself. They must have tested it in place where there is no person, where there is no road, that it will just be free of anything first and just drive. After they will be changing. I will show you. So self-driving car city, self-driving car city, right? No, not this one. Testing. So this is what it will look like. This is how he sees vision. This is how he sees vision. Now, once it is loading now and the guy has left it, can you see he's using infrared here to be able to see stuff ahead of it and around it? Now, it can use it's not just infrared, it has Google Vision, it has cameras in front of it too to be able to see and detect. Can you see nobody is writing this thing now? As nobody is, and it's able to turn, it is able to do all these things. It is able to make decisions based on what it is and where it is going to, right? Now, and these are, it's not just small cars. As you can see, that truck too is also a self-driving machine, self-driving device, right? So all these things now, if you want to, this thing is primarily in the domain of machine learning.
Google Map, it's using infrared and it's also using.
It's using so many things. There are so many things here. To make this kind of systems that can do this, you need to go into the world of autonomous systems, machine learning, right? And that is the world of data science. So if you are interested in that kind of system, right, it's not just this now. You can use it in Nigeria now. We can use it for traffic, right? Like now, no, not traffic light. Traffic light is a solved problem. In Nigeria now, people, in traffic light now, some people will break the law.
Yeah.
The traffic will say they should stop and then they will run across, right? And then the police cannot catch them. But imagine if you put a camera at that point. When anybody crosses the line, it will take their picture, it should take their plate number, right? And then once it takes their plate number, it should keep tracking them from bus stop to bus stop, bus stop to bus stop, and it should be alerting. It will be alerting all the police that this person at this point has. You know now that one is independent of the computer on the human being. That person cannot run. Once he gets to his location, police will just show at his back. Because what? Police does not even need to be chasing him. The nearest police to his final destination will just go and arrest him. Right? Can you see how we are applying computing and machine learning to that place now? Right? We will be able to identify the plate number, give that plate number to the smart system, and it will just be tracking. That place we are using video recognition, right? To recognize that place, to recognize and extract the plate number out of that image, right? And then pass it to a DB that will be tracking that device. And then once you get there, you might not even need, the police might not even need to come and meet you. They can just give you fine.
Yeah.
Directly. And then you will know that in this place, I beat the traffic, they are fine me like this. And then you pay your fine, you cannot run away. Right? So you see that kind of system is a smart system, right? You cannot use, to build that kind of system, you are leaning towards the world of machine learning, smart systems, right? That is a world entirely. So different world require different languages. Access to languages give us access to world. So you want to focus on a language because you cannot learn Portuguese. You can learn Portuguese and speak to Brazilian, right? But you cannot learn Portuguese and be learning Mandarin at the same time. It will be clashing, right? If you want to speak to Brazilians, you will not be speaking Mandarin to them. They cannot understand you. Same way you cannot speak Portuguese to Chinese people, right? They will not understand you. So if you want to do web, learn JavaScript. Patience. Once you understand the web and you flow with the web, right? And you understand what is happening on the web, you can flow to another place, right? Try another place, right? Pick another language, give yourself access to what's it called? To another platform, right? As you build, as you generate a lot of stuff, a lot of things will be happening. So yeah, we have so many languages. We have over 9,000 computer languages. Obviously, we have only talked about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I've shown you Swift, I've shown you Kotlin, I've shown you JavaScript, right? So, but we are not going to learn everything, and it is not possible to learn everything. There is no even need to learn everything. If I learn Kotlin, I can do machine learning. I can use Kotlin to do Android application. I can use Kotlin to write iOS. It will compile. You know, the final it's just has to be Swift, right? I can write it in Kotlin. It will compile itself to Swift and then it will run. Right? So it's just that I'm taking two steps. I don't want to go and learn Kotlin, Swift directly. So I can just learn Kotlin and use Kotlin to write Swift. Right? So you can see with one language, you are able to access everything. So you don't need to learn all the languages. Right?
Like English. No, it's English. You can access every people. Most of them they can speak.
You can access a lot of people.
Mandarin and English. At least most people know two languages.
Yes, most so if they don't know Mandarin, you can speak English to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Portuguese, English.
So you can see that. So you can find a common ground that will allow you to be able to communicate with. But you understand that even if you are speaking English to a Chinese person and you are speaking English to a Portuguese person or to a Brazilian, they will understand you, right? But the domain and the culture are different. Right? So if you are speaking Kotlin in iOS development, your thinking and the way you are going to say it is going to be different from if you are thinking if you are speaking Swift directly, or if you are speaking Kotlin to write Android applications or to write machine learning application. Your thinking will be different because the culture, the demand, the operating system are different. The job that each platforms are doing are different. You get? So that is primarily what we have been able to talk about: cultures and access to those cultures. With what? With languages. So as we have said, to conclude on this session, as we go further in this, because it's an introductory class, right, and we have talked a lot about a lot of things, one of the things that makes anybody to excel in this programming world is that you must ask questions, right? You must. So if, as you know, it can be complex. It is complex, and there is need for guidance, right? It is. You can decide to do it on your own, right? You can decide to do it on your own, but it's going to be hard, right? But if you find somebody that can help you and that person can relate with you, give you answers to your questions, it will be faster. You can build faster. You can do stuff faster, right? So if we are continuing this class, it is important that you ask questions, right? Question anything I say, right? Question it. It is by questioning what I am saying that you will challenge your own knowledge. Know that, or be confident in what you are saying. Be confident that what I am saying is getting to you, that you are understanding what I am saying, right? So you have to question what I'm saying, right? So there is nothing like, this is a stupid question, or you will think I'm stupid. That is not available here, right? Throw that idea out in the window. If it is a question, and there is no simple question, there is no hard question, there is just what? Question. And once you have a question in your mind, throw it out. Because if you don't throw it out, simple question will cause you problem. And it is the simple thing in this programming world that will make you spend 1 month on one place. Just one simple thing. You think, this thing is so simple. This thing is so simple. Right?
But how do
And you wouldn't know until you now figure it out that when you see the solution to it, you will now wonder, why did I now spend 1 month on it? Right? It can be simple, right? So that is why I'm saying there is no simple or hard. It is simple, it is hard today. When you are aware of it, it becomes simple.
Yeah.
Right? So that is why the discrepancy between is it simple or hard is just about perception. That is why I'm saying throw away the idea of simple or hard. Stupid. Don't qualify the question. Right? Don't give it an adjective. It is just a question. And I want you to ask it. Keep an open mind about everything we are saying and we want to build. The whole concept of everything we are here is just what? To build. Just to freelance. Let's just build. To just build. Let's just keep building. Right? So finally, the whole story here is that programming is fun, is exciting. We get to build a lot of stuff, and it makes me by myself, I get a lot smarter by doing a lot of this programming stuff, right? And by talking to people about it, I get excited about it, and it's fun to me. So I hope that you also find it fun and exciting. It can be boring, it can be all those stuff, and it has implications, but there are good sides to it, there are bad sides to it.
Because like what?
Like it has like implications now because some things takes time to learn, right? And to learn it, you may need to sacrifice a lot of stuff to be able to do that dedication, right? To devote time to learning it, right? If you are going to devote time to learning programming, it implies that you are going to take that time from something, whatever thing you are doing before. So I don't know what it is. So it means that your commitment to learning programming and to building means that you are going to sacrifice time for some other things, right? So that means be it, I don't know what you are sacrificing, but primarily you need to build a routine around learning this, right? If you don't build a routine around learning it, it is going to be hard to assimilate what we want to build, right? And you can only learn in this world majorly by trial and error. By trial and error, majorly, right? So if you don't do it by trial and error, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to grab what we are saying. Do you get? So that is primarily what we have talked about so far. We have spent 1 hour and we have concluded our session for today.
But then, trial and error is good, because sometimes trial and error is